FNAF Animatronics are the entirety of the series. They're the reason it was successful. It's what got you to check the game out before we knew about the convoluted story. But that doesn't mean that all of them are as chill as Chica. So which ones are going to give you your own version of FNAF 4? That's what we're exploring today. Let's do it. Be sure you let me know in the comments who your favorite animatronic is and why. And at 10, Nightmare. Nightmare is the main antagonist of FNAF 4, who returns in Ultimate Custom Night. Nightmare is a bipedal black nightmare bear animatronic with his face that has scratches and distorts all over it. His muzzle and jaw has white sharp teeth with blood stains in the corners, near his black gums and on the rest of the inside of his mouth. Okay, his eyes are, there's black eyelids and red irises. He's a giant, pure black bear that is just as dark as night and is where all dreams go to die. I don't know how else to say it. He also has a shiny hat. His body it's like kind of lighter than that. He's like a lighter bit on his stomach, but other than that, he's wearing a shiny yellow bow tie and hat, and then he has teeth everywhere. And in Ultimate Custom Night, Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare are a tag team duo that are invisible to the cameras and can only be seen when you reach doorways. God. Okay, and even like then, only their eyes are visible. Yeah, his name is Nightmare. What else do I need to say? He's gonna give you nightmares. He's Nightmare. And at 9, Ennard. Ennard is the true main antagonist of FNAF's sister location, composed of the endoskeletons of the sister location animatronics, and he makes a return in Ultimate Custom Night as well, because of course he does. Ennard is one of the many Funtime animatronics, I guess, in a way, but he is also all of the Funtime animatronics. But what makes him terrifying is that he is the most human-like animatronic out of all of them, or at least proportions-wise, and that's just composed of like a wired endo body, and he also has a white mask with a red nose, eyebrows, and a freaking party hat. Dude, why? Why would you give yourself a party hat? There's no point to that. His body is just like wires of all the endoskeletons that he's made of, and he has a red button in the center because, that's the self-destruct. No, it's not. I wish it was. But he also is covered in eyes because he's every Funtime animatronic. Ennard climbs around in the vent systems in Ultimate Custom Night, but unlike the other animatronics in the vents, he's actually difficult to keep track of, and he only appears briefly and when he's moving. He can't be seen in the vents opening, but he will give himself away by squeaking before he attacks. Yeah, you gotta listen for squeaking because you can't use visuals. That's not fun. I don't want to play these games with audio. It's not a good thing. If you want to stop him, you gotta close the vent door, but again, you won't know when he's there. Aside from being one of the creepiest animatronics design-wise though, this dude is just a whole load of worrying, crawling through the vents, so yeah, he's getting on the list, absolutely, 100%. And at 8, Circus Baby. Hello and welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're counting down the top 10 worst anime betrayals, but it's FNAF. In sister location, we thought we finally had the first nice animatronic, okay? It was like basically it was a prototype of Glamrock Freddy, or at least we thought so. At first, Baby gives us tips on how to survive. She helps us get through Ballora's gallery. She seems like she actually wants us to stay alive. And then what do we get for trusting her? Scooped and stuffed, just like a Thanksgiving turkey. This is probably one of the most brutal things to happen to a character in the entirety of the series, and that's built on the fact that we trusted Baby, okay? If we didn't trust her, then it happened, then we would just be stupid, but we trusted her this time. She makes us feel safe. She gave us confidence that we would survive. She prevented us from getting killed, only to use our body as a skin suit and then get kicked out of Ennard not even a game later. This is why I don't trust Glamrock Freddy. Baby is legit one of the reasons I have trust issues now, and that's saying something, or maybe that's the personality disorder that I have not yet figured out. And at 7, O Chica. O Chica is an antagonist that's exclusive to the Halloween update for Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Well, I guess not an update, but it's a DLC of sense things. She replaces Nightmare Chica in this version, and she also returns in Ultimate Custom Night and Help Wanted. O Chica is a Halloween themed version of Nightmare Chica, which I feel like you could kind of get given that it's the Halloween update. She's distorted, nightmarish, an even worse version of Nightmare Chica with several sharp teeth, wires sticking out from torn parts of her body, and then, unlike her original counterpart, she lacks eyes. And actually like the head of an endoskeleton, instead having just a bright orange light emitting from her eye sockets and torsos and just every single opening. It has orange light coming out from it. Do you know how terrifying that is? It is the depths of hell walking towards you carrying a freaking pumpkin cupcake. She also carries a jack-o'-lantern instead of a cupcake, but I just said that. When the office in Ultimate Custom Night heats up to 90 degrees, O Chica is going to appear in both halls at the same time. And then once she's fully materialized, she's going to kill you. The only way that you can stop her is by closing the left and right doors at the same time to make her vanish. Or I guess having them both closed at the same time. You can't really close both at once. But this won't work if the office reaches 100 degrees or more. So yeah, you gotta, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. That's why I don't play FNAF anymore. And it's 6, Lolbit. Lolbit is essentially just a recolored Funtime Foxy, repainted to match like the FNAF World version of Lolbit, with the only exception being the absence of the hook hand from FNAF World, but I feel like that's a good thing. It has no visible eyelids or eyeballs, and instead it just has glossy black eyes with just big white pupils, and it's covered in white with like orange highlights surrounding its eyes like some weird form of clown makeup. And the worst part about the character is the noise that is associated with the damn thing. The worst part of a jump scare is the audio, okay? It's something that's meant to overload multiple senses in order to give you a shock. The visual of a jump scare without some sort of sudden loud audio isn't really going to do anything, but a loud sound on its own can still scare you. So combine that with her freaking clown fox appearance, like what the hell kind of combination is that? I don't know, okay? And the sound seems to be like a failed connection or something like that. Like it's something that you would hear from a computer crashing in a movie about the 80s, right? Or like a failed dial tone. You know what I mean, okay? Dude, with all of that combined, you have one of the most frustrating sensory nightmares that I have ever experienced. So yeah, Lolbit can show up on this list. And speaking of this list, if you like it, why not give it a like? So I know. How else am I supposed to know? Come on. Halfway through into number 5, Night Toy Bonnie. The Night Toy animatronics are a collection of models from a now deleted Reddit account and are absolutely terrifying. I get that they aren't canon, but Jesus Christ, they're freaking horrific, okay? Night Toy Bonnie being the worst of the bunch. Sure, the others are messed up, but for some freaking reason, Bonnie just sets everyone on edge. I looked through the Reddit comments. It was scary. The original version stands on all fours with its legs like wider than its like hands, as if it's like some deranged gargoyle that just got home from a shopping spree in the Spencer backrooms. But I don't know, okay? I genuinely don't know how else to describe it, because the only thing that's toy about this is the color scheme. Other than that, it's furry, it's terrifying, and it seems like this is what the security database in the original toy animatronics was meant to prevent, if you catch my drift, okay? Like, this thing is gonna show up to the pizzeria and Chris Hansen's gonna pop out and ask it to sit down. It's so utterly terrifying that I had to include it on this list, despite it not really being a canon character. But if I have to suffer the fate of knowing about this thing, so do the rest of you, and you've all been searching it up a lot, so I was hoping it would help with SEO. In at 4, Ballora. I think Ballora is scary for one major reason, because I don't know Afton's intentions. Yeah, we've gotten to that part of the list, because after all, Afton's a man. He's a deranged one, but even the most deranged men have messed up needs. So maybe Ballora was supposed to be a little more than like a mother figure for his kids, okay? Or at least maybe it was like intended to be more. After all, we know that she does represent someone that William didn't let into his life, whether that be after his wife's exit from his life or after Elizabeth's death, but even then, we can start to get a general idea. But thanks to the fast facts found in FNAF AR, we know that the Funtime animatronics were among some of the first ever animatronics made by Afton. And if this was the case, Ballora would have been around before Elizabeth got caught by Baby, especially if she was made for circus babies. So yeah, after Afton's wife or baby mama or whatever it was leaves him or dies, he finds a woman who wants to help him, but he doesn't let her into his life. So instead, he makes a robot version that won't judge him, and he can probably do other things as well. Because let's face it, William wasn't in the most optimistic of mindsets. And if you think about it, there could be a reason that Ballora is so flexible and why she can't stand on her own. Obviously, so she can help work around the house. What were you thinking? God. And with my executive dysfunction, housework is the most terrifying thing of all. Hence why she's at number 4. Getting close to the end, in number 3, Burntrap. Burntrap is near the top of this list because while some people may consider this a waste, this to me was certainly a surprise. Okay, sure, we figured that Afton could come back in Security Breach, but we never thought that he would come back like this. We figured that there would be like more ceremony to his resurrection, that there was like actually a ritual that had to be performed, and that Gregory was the key or something. But Burntrap was not what we expected, or at least I didn't expect a new form of Afton to appear in this game. Okay, I figured that we'd have Scrap Trap or like Glitch Trap form into one, and then he would finally have like a normal body back if he took off the suit or something like that. But no, he's a corpse akin to what you would see in a Saw movie. During the fight against him, Burntrap walks between 3 different rooms on the other side of like the underground pizzeria. Gregory has to watch for him and watch the rooms that he goes into and press each room's corresponding button when he attempts to take control of Freddy, and then you'll light a fire under his ass, literally, and damage him, stopping the corruption attempt. Failure to do so will have Glamrock Freddy taken over by Afton, which will have him basically instantly kill you. But I have had nightmares about this guy, but specifically because of all the wrenches that he threw in to what we thought we knew about the series, but still, he's been in my nightmares, so yeah, he's on the list. Penultimately, in at number 2, Moon. The daycare attendant, otherwise known in-game as Sun or Moon, is a superstar daycare animatronic that appears in Security Breach as a recurring antagonist in its Moon form. As Moon, the daycare attendant is malevolent and aggressive. They constantly chase Gregory once the lights are turned off, and then every hour, not even every other hour, every hour on the hour he is on your ass, and then he attempts to punish him for going past his bedtime. Despite all this though, he still hates messes, and he has to clean them up whenever he sees it. It's like some weird form of like programming OCD. If he sees a mess, then he has to clean it up, but he does so in a creepier way. I can't express it, but honestly, this kind of attitude, like the demeanor that this animatronic gives, in general, just gives me a come see what's in my van, I got more fizzy faz in here vibe, you know? Him and Night Toy Bonnie, they go to the same meetings, okay? I don't know, it makes me feel like a deep-seated anger in the pit of my stomach and just makes me want to beat his brains in until his wires are spilled on the floor, which is fine for me to say in this case because it's an animatronic, and a fictional animatronic at that, so stop trying to use this as evidence against me. And finally, in at number 1, Plushtrap. Yeah, Plushtrap, okay? The literal embodiment of how people think of children, especially when they don't want to have any. This is probably the most nightmare-inducing animatronic of all time, and I'm saying this on a list that includes one literally called Nightmare, okay? Plushtrap is a smaller plush version of Spring Bonnie, but has a design that's more similar to Scrap Trap, or Spring Trap, sorry. Albeit much more cartoonish and less damaged, considering how he's tiny. He also seems to try to be less menacing in appearance, but only in appearance, because his whole game mechanics are what make him terrifying. The minigame is like a Scooby-Doo chase scene on crack where the player flashes their flashlight at him, trying to stop him as he runs back and forth between doors in a dark hallway. Your goal is to stop him from moving on a painted X on the ground, but that X is literally right in front of you. The whole point of this game is to let the craziness get close to you, and that's what makes it so horrifying. I've done that before, I'm not doing it again. The rest of this game is just about avoiding things, but this specific section, you have to let it come to you. And while it's not really evil, the next video you should watch is also coming to you. Yeah, that's right, it's about to pop up on your screen. Click it. Thanks for watching.